Good morning, everybody, and this is your Dow Jones day trade setups for today. So back below the moving averages on the 8-hour, and if you look at this little bit of price action here, some tails, some buys, and then moving up, that to me is just profit taking before the weekend. We do have a fairly decent grouping to the downside. We've also got a little bit of diversions. So if you look here, it's pretty much from there to there. You can see we have a bit of a trend line here. So price is higher and the oscillators are lower. So could mean a move back up. But I suspect it is a move back up to test the breakout. And this is the breakout. It's a messy area. So let's just do that. Pick it up onto price. So you can see there's a lot of tails in this area. A lot of areas where we found support, a lot of resistance, we found support, and we haven't really done anything again. Moving averages are not conducive to helping us make a decision here. And the one thing you need to pay attention to on the weekly is we have a massive weekly engulfing bar, but the oscillators have separated here. And we've got a crossover of the moving averages. So two minds here on the Dow Jones. If we start getting down to the 3-hour, you'll see the week was a pretty strong move, consolidation second leg, and then we just started consolidating around here before some profit taking. So typical price action. You can see buyers and sellers not knowing what to do, going through early session, and then Friday morning deciding, well, that's it, I've got enough money here. Let's cash out and take a long weekend, and that's pretty much what happened here. Look at the oscillators starting to group back the upside. We've got a crossover of the moving averages. So if you look at this on the 3-hour, there is a strong possibility for another leg down. Now remember, we are in the middle of earnings season, so that could flip on its head with the first set of results that come out. But I think, well, for me anyway, this is an area to be very, very cautious. Don't believe we're going to have enough to break through this area. We are below the moving averages on the hour, or at least the 155. We've got a grouping of the oscillators to the upside. So this is a strong sit on hands for me at the moment until we establish the direction we're going to go. Are we going to continue to the downside, or was this move down last week just a bit of seesaw price action just to confuse everybody, which is also possible. And the structure that we've got here, you can see the lows are still climbing, so we're getting higher lows, but if you look to the left, it is chaos. So it's basically confusion, big up, big down, and it doesn't matter which time frame you look at, the confusion continues. One thing to point out on the 15 minutes, and it's very similar on the DAX, is look at all these gaps, these 15-minute gaps here. Even as far as that, oops, there's another one all the way down there. That would be on the trend line. So with all these gaps here, I'm a little bit skeptical about jumping in on a long. One thing that would possibly get me interested is a retest of this area here, and that is 33,234, to see if we can get some structure there for a move to the upside. But when you start looking at the higher time frames, we should be looking for a rejection because we are below the 155. So yeah, I'm a little bit cautious just because of the chaos on the different time frames. But I think if we do get some form of structure here, now you're going to have to ignore moving averages on the 15 minutes at the moment, but look at the structure that we have. That's pretty much what it is. So a break and retest of this area of 3332 would probably give you a fairly decent short onto there. It's a 100-point stop loss basically, and you're looking for this next area. It's not even worth it. Yeah, I'll be sitting on hands. The setups are just not worth it. If you look at it, if you zoom out and you look at it on the hour, this does look like an area we need to be focusing on. But being earnings season as well, and I start drilling down to the 3 hour, and you look at that price action, it's a different ball game completely. So if we do sort of do that, so we reject 33,500. Yeah, so it's right. Those two levels are right between 33,500. If we reject 33,500 on the 3 hour, that is a confirmation that the downtrend is going to continue. Okay, so that's kind of the setup that we've got at the moment, and that's what I would expect. And if you just come back to the weekly, you'd expect that based on the big engulfing. What concerns me is that we still got the series of higher lows, and also we are got a crossover of the weekly moving averages, and we've got a separation here, which is starting to look like a move to the upside. So probably just a big consolidation area that we're in, and you can see that fairly clearly on the 3 hour. You can see big range that we're in. So yeah, I'd be a little bit cautious. I think the lows of last week are critical. If we start dropping below those, then it's game on. But I think if we reject this 3,500 area or 33,500 area again, then I would expect us to come back down to the trend line. But if we get above that and we build a base above that, then I'd be watching that very keenly for a continuation to the upside. So I think that's going to be my line in the sand for today's 33,500. What's going to happen there? Not going to really worry about anything else at the moment. So it is Monday, it's early in the week, so even if we don't get a trade this today, it's not the end of the world. There's too many magnets to the downside for me to be convinced that we're going to hold above these moving averages at the moment as well. So yep, I'll wait for better structure. So I'm sitting on hands. Hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.